Shalom. First and foremost, above all things, I want to give all praises and all honor and glory that's definitely due to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakak, Radash. I'd like to give a special double honors to our elders and apostles on down at Great Millstone for teaching us this truth and being great examples to us brothers out here. And peace and salutations to the elect. May the blessing of election be upon your household, to sincere brothers and you sisters out there that listen and take heed to the true doctrine of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, spoken by his servants, the prophets. To you, I want to say Shalom, back again with another video, and Lord willing, I hope and pray that this will be edifying. So, as the prophets, we go out and we teach the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, which means he is or he exists. And then you have the Son's name, which is Yahweh Shai, which means he that delivers or he that saves. And the warning we're giving also, after giving you the names of the Heavenly Father and the Son to you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Indians, Native American Indians, you're all the children of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And after, you know, the message we relay, after telling you the names of our higher power, is the great fall of this place called Babylon. And it's urgent that you take heed to this message and start listening and hearkening under Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This place is about to be destroyed, man. When you look at all the things that's going on, how things have gone downhill for years, decades, in this place, America. I mean, if you look back, you know, even if for you, some of you younger brothers who are much younger than I am, you can see the changes in how things were, say for instance, maybe in the 2000s, 2010s, on into the time we're in now. We're in the middle of the 2020s. So you can see there's been a lot of change compared to how things are. And it's been a degenerate change. It's not been a change for the better. It's more like waxing worse and worse, you know, the mindset of these people. And we need to just get the hell up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it just is what it is. I mean, when you think about, like, just to say, for instance, this trial. There's a trial going on. I forgot the lady's names. Not really important. But she's on trial for strangling all 3 of her kids. And then here's the thing. You have women who support her because her defense is that she had to deal with postpartum it's like, okay, something that you go through after giving birth to a child. And, you know, all women, because we're under the curses, go through it. And, you know, if that was the case, that, you know, that all women strangle their kids, there wouldn't be no kids, wouldn't be no people here if all women thought like this mindset is. But you have women who are supporting this woman. You know? I mean, here you have all these different things that you could have done. You could have, like, went to, you know, took it to Child Protective Services. First and foremost, go to the father. Give them to the father and just say, hey, I'm going through some mental, emotional stress right now. So I'm gonna give you the kids, you know, and have you take care of them, you know, which at the end of the day, the kids do belong to the father, because the father is the one that produced the seed, right? And there was so many other things that she could have done. And it's so crazy, and it shows you, you know, how this place is out of order. So it's a great possibility that this woman may get off by using this defense. And what that could lead to, if she does, is that there'll be a lot other women that will do the same thing. Actually, I was looking at a brother's video yesterday, and he was showing these women, you know, kind of falling in line with it, you know, where they are acting out and acting a fool around their child, and, you know, all kind of stuff, you know, to, you know, I prove that they're going through it too, or that postpartum does exist, what have you, which I'm not saying it doesn't, because again, we're under the curses. But, you know, at the end of the day, how do I want to say this? I'll just say it like this. This woman here, when you look at her, which I can't remember the name, the woman's name, I think it was Leslie or something like that, what have you, insignificant, but you could just see that she's got demons on her, you know, which all these women have demons on them, man. All of them have spirits on them, you know, and they, you know, and she just ain't right. And then on top of that, 9 times out of 10, she's an Edomite anyway. So, you know, that's a double whammy right there, you know. But it's a great possibility that this woman will get off, and she has a lot of support by these women. And I wouldn't even be surprised if it's some of these women are Israelite women who are protesting as well, you know. But this is an example of why this place has to be destroyed, man. This is total madness. Say, for instance, a man had did that to his own kids, you know, this would be an open and shut case. But because she's a woman, and in this society, a woman is you know, in this society they worship, they're in that spirit of the Queen of Heaven spirit, where they worship the woman. You know, the woman can't do no wrong. The woman is never counted, you know, never has to be accountable for her actions. You know, anything she does, no matter how wicked it is, she's justified to do it. And this is another reason why this place has to be destroyed. And then when you think about it, the rulership, Esau, so-called white man, he's over this society, and he's also doing this court case, you know. But I didn't really want to go just into this court case, but I was giving an example of why this place has to be destroyed. When you look at the food, you look at the pollution of the food, they weaponize the food, they weaponize the water, you know, alcohol, you know, your house, your apartment, whatever you stay in, man, you know, everything is weaponized, man, here in this place, Babylon. Even our own women are against us Israelite men, bro, you know. So you have to deal with all that. And I say that to say this, man, the Lord is soon gonna destroy this place, and that's what we're looking forward to, man, you know. And you know, this may be Salakia, if I'm ranting or whatever, and I promise you I'm gonna bring out some precepts. But you know, you brothers and you sisters out there, man, you know, You got to be in that mindset to be ready for this place to be destroyed, man. Because this place has destroyed our people. You know, and everything is weaponized. Even your clothes, the clothing that you wear, we're supposed to wear one material. The clothes that we wear are made of several materials. You know, you may have something made with cotton and it's mixed with acrylic, you know, or something that's polyester, which my camp leader did a lesson about that, you know, about how polyester messes with the testosterone, you know, your testosterone. So, I mean, you know, everything is weaponized here, man, you know, and we just, you know, we just need to get out of here, man. I mean, this is a bizarro world to have a long, drawn-out trial of a woman who strangled her kids, and they have concrete proof that this woman did it. It wasn't like there was a possibility that somebody else did it. She did it, and then blame it on postpartum syndrome, which all women go through that, but they don't, you know, unalive their kids, man. But she's probably gonna get a pass because she's an Edomite woman, you know. And then she's got all this freaking support. This is degenerate behavior, man. You know, very degenerate behavior. All the things that, you know, you think about back in the day are now totally accepted. When you think of the alternative lifestyle back in the 60s, which I wasn't there at that time, wasn't even born yet, but looking back at history, people who had that mindset were considered off, mental. That happened all the way up to like 1974, to where they changed it. So that was part of it. That was moving into that the degenerate behavior, approving of degenerate behavior, which that is degenerate behavior, because you've been given over to a reprobate spirit, man. You know, and so now it's openly accepted. You know, that lifestyle is openly accepted, when really these people have mental problems, man. When you want to be, a man want to be with a man, or a woman wants to be with a woman, that's mental. That is mental, and you're up under some wicked spirits, man. You know, but I mean, I'm just giving it, and I may be ranting and salaki if I am, but I'm finna come with the precepts, man, because this place is just wicked, and it just vexes your spirit that you have to be in a society like this. This is why we need Yahweh Bashim outside to, you know, execute judgment upon this wicked place, man, because this wicked place is the face of abomination, man. You understand? I mean, when you first come into this truth, you know, you didn't understand, you know, because you've probably been taught the hell doctrine that you're gonna burn forever. You know, didn't know what hell really was, and didn't understand. But now that we're in this truth and knowledge, we understand that the hell and this fire and this so-called brimstone is gonna be right here in America with them ICBM missiles, man. Because you can see it in the spirit that this is about to happen. You see that America has, you know, has lost a lot of their allies, you know. So a lot of people are looking sideways at this place, America, man. So you can see the Lord is making a lot of these nations turn on America, you know, and in turn the Lord is putting on a spirit on America to go against their allies, you know, have them turn against them, you know. And then on top of that, this man is everywhere. You know, now that they say they went over to Russia to have a meeting over there. I don't know how true it is, but, you know, there could be a possibility, because really the biggest threat to America outside of anybody would be Russia, which they've always been kind of locking horns at each other for a long time anyway. But you know, this devil has messed up so bad over here in America to where everything is you know, you can just see why this place is crumbling. You know, the cost of living has constantly gone up. They tax everything. You know, this is a vexing place to live in, man. And only Yahweh Shem outside can do something about it, and that's what we're looking forward to. So, hey, I'm gonna go into the scriptures, man, and I'm gonna bring it out. And again, Salakia, you know, you brothers felt like I'm ranting or what have you, man. But sometimes, you know, you be vexed in the spirit, you know. And I woke up being vexed in the spirit. You know, some things went on, you know, that vexed my spirit, and I said, man, I'm gonna go and do a lesson. Maybe I'll feel a lot better. But we all should, you know, of like-mindedness should be vexed in the spirit about this place, man. You know, and if you're not vexed in the spirit about this place, something's, you know, you really need to check yourself, man. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7, but the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. And this is what we're in. We're in a society of ungodly men, whether they be Esau, Edom, beginning with the wicked elite, or whether it be the 2/3 of Israel, or whether it be the people of the other nations, man. Because the people of the other nations have been complicit in our downfall. And you know, the 2/3, they have gone along with the enemy and learned his philosophies, so they got to be destroyed too, man. You know, but call Lord Yahweh Shem outside, because He's given us this understanding of this truth and knowledge, man, and to understand why we're going through this, why we have been the most hated people on the planet of the earth, man. Why our people are so fucking degenerate, man. You know. Moving along, let's go to Amos chapter 9. And verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai thy God, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Yes, so the eyes of the Lord are upon this sinful kingdom, man. So it don't matter if these devils go hide in bunkers and, you know, do whatever they got to do, because they know that all this stuff is gonna come back on their heads right now. They know that. So that's why they got these bunkers and stuff. And you even got some of these celebrities now with these bunkers, because they know, you know, and because they're in the know too also. So, you know, that's why they getting these bunkers and stuff of that nature, because these people, you know, because the Lord is going to put a spirit on these nations to just shoot those missiles over here, man. And so be it, man. This place ought to be burnt down to a crisp, you know. And we as brothers in this truth and knowledge, that's what we're looking forward to, man. We're tired of this place. This place is vexing, you know. You have unruly women, you know, they don't know their place, you know, disrespectful. You have people who rule over you that look at you like you ain't shit. And then you look at, you know, and then they ruling over us. And you know, you gotta, you know, being who we are, we have to play our role. You know, you have to, you know, the scriptures say, be, if it be possible, be at peace with all men. So we have to be that way, you know. It's kind of like, you know, Superman and Clark Kent. We have to be Clark Kent. Even when things vex our spirit, we have to be Clark Kent, you know, when we're out and about in this world. You know, we're navigating in this world. The only time you can just really be yourself is when you're being the prophet, you know, or when you're amongst fellow brothers. That's why the scriptures say that do not neglect the gathering of brothers, man. So when you have that opportunity to be amongst the brothers, you have a time to sometimes vex to a brother about what you're going through. You know, you don't have to vex about every little detail, but you know, but each brother has his own personal you know, each brother has his own individual vexations that they got to deal with, you know, to say it like that, you know. But it's good to be amongst the brotherhood, to vent sometimes, you know, because maybe that brother may be going through something or even similar, and a lot of times when you get it off your chest, you feel so much better because you're around someone that shares the same thing you share, where that you want to get the hell up out of this place, man, and you hoping to be delivered, you know, because we're in a world of darkness. Let's go to it. Isaiah. See, when you come in this truth, man, and you're seeking to be righteous, you know, you're pursuing righteousness, and it's not saying that you know, you got to remember our righteousness is but filthy rags to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But when you're seeking to be righteous, you know, the scriptures say, and I wish I knew where it was at right now, you make yourself a prey. And so we're a prey around all this wickedness, you know what I mean? Because it's vexing that you have to deal with this, man. That's why the scriptures also tell you, surely oppression make a wise man crieth out. And so we're crying out, you know, about the wickedness that goes on in this place, man. Isaiah chapter 60, I'm going to start in verse 1, but the point is here in verse 2, and the place that we're in, Babylon, is in complete darkness. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. That's the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. You know, the Lord has given us this understanding, this knowledge, man, and not all of Israel have received it, you know. So it's a blessing, man. See, these other Israelites, they're so caught up in their lifestyle and the fashion of this world, not realizing, man, that the fashion of this world is about to soon pass away. Verse 2, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Yep. And so, you know, this place is in complete darkness. The people of this place is in complete darkness. So we're walking around with that light, that knowledge, and soon the Lord is going to, you know, all these people that are in the dark, they're going to see that light, man. They're going to see there's something different about us, you know, that we're built different. Sometimes you may, if you ever notice, people sit there and kind of stare at you, you know, that's because you got that light, man. That it's the light. It distinguishes. You know, people can see it. And guess what? When things get even more worse out here, the Lord is going to make that light shine even brighter. But see, right now, that light, some people just kind of go about their business, you know, but then you have some people, you know, just, they see it. Because You know, the old saying, you know, people recognize people basically. Well, they see that light that you have that they don't have. Some of them do, and then some of them don't. But the Lord has blessed us to have that spiritual light, man. So it's a beautiful thing to have, you know, and you know, to you brothers out there and you sisters that have this light, been given this understanding, man. Just, you know, hold it down, man. You know, just keep doing what you got to do. We all got to do. Speaking first and foremost with myself, too. We got to keep doing what we got to do, you know, and hope for that mercy and hope for that salvation to get up out of here, man. Because the Lord's definitely got to do something about it, man. This place is vexing as hell. Matthew chapter 24 and 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Yeah. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Yeah. So we're in those times right now. And with this devil in control, man, there will be no flesh to be saved if Yahweh Shem Yahushai don't speed up that time. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai is speeding up that time. You know, like the scriptures say, though it may tarry, it shall not tarry. And so we know everything that the Lord is doing because he's bound by his word. He's a man of his word. And we know that, Lord, you know, what the Lord say he gonna do, he gonna do. You know, we as men sometimes we'll say, well, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do that. I know I put myself first and foremost on that. I'll say this, you know, this is why we have to always say if it's the Lord's will, you know. But see, with the Lord, when he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. And he's gonna make it happen, man. And so, you know, it's just a matter of us being patient. Like the scriptures say, here lies the patience of the saints. So we're patiently waiting on Yahweh Shem Yahushai to do something about it, man. You know, anxious, but at the same time, we have to be patient because we know that we're not want to rush the Lord, you know, but we want to make it clear to Yahweh Shem Yahushai that we want to get out of here, man. You know. So Lord willing, I hope and pray that this is edifying. And once again, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rakak Radash, and giving you the spirit to do this lesson. Until the next time, Lord willing, I'll say Shalom.